Well, Pet Talk this morning, Sheila had a rough night last night. She's
She
still
had
tired.
a rough night. She had evidently, between when I went to bed last night and was awake at 4 o'clock this morning to be here, she had an altercation with one of the resident yard dogs, because she's in our resident yard and she's going to be in our resident house when we get home.
Aww.
And with a little medication, which brings up the topic for today.
And we're talking about all the things you can do, because you've got a lot of medication at home.
Right.
You've got the medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff is safe for your pet.
It absolutely is, and particularly when you have a first aid situation where it is 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and you can't bundle everybody up and go to the veterinarian. Although here in Grayson County now, in Denison, there is an emergency veterinary clinic now, so do look into that if you're in that area. But for Sheila here, probably the best thing you could do, I mean, she has a little boo-boo on her leg where somebody clamped down. Ice
That's
is
all you
probably
need?
the absolute best thing you can do. Now for pain relief,
Not
now,
directly on it,
no,
put
but
a
you're
cloth
going
between
to
it.
put a cloth between it. But I brought this is my first aid book, because there is a whole 2-page spread in here on home medications, the dosages, what they're for, whether they're safe for cats or not.
Can I see that?
Absolutely.
So you've got every kind of medicine on here.
Right. Most of these listed in here are topicals, like Neosporin types of things. Solar cane, if your dog has sunburn. That's not going to be safe for cats, but that will work.
These are
for
over-the-counter
I've never
dogs.
things.
seen a dog
Over-the-counter
with a
things.
sunburn.
Oh,
Is
no,
that-
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, I'll be doing a column on that later. But for Bufferin for the dogs. something like-
Pepto-Bismol?
Pepto-Bismol, absolutely. Settle
For the
their
same
stomach.
purpose.
Pepsid AC. There you go.
Right, for antacid. Benadryl. Benadryl might be something that you'd want to do with Sheila here, because it's not only an antihistamine, it will calm down itching and hives if they get bug bit. It has a side effect. It sedates. It sedates. So if they're very upset, you can give 1 milligram per pound of body weight. That's a pretty safe one. You do need to check with your veterinarian about contraindications.
I'm just looking at this whole thing, that there's so many medications. You can give them Robitussin,
Robitussin, absolutely, a cough medicine.
milk of magnesia.
Milk of magnesia, right.
I didn't know all that was safe for dogs. I thought that it was
You need to look at
dangerous.
it, and depending on what other medications they may be taking, the age of the animal, this is a guideline and it's first aid only. This is not routine care. So, for instance, the Bufferin, you're not going to want to give a pain medication to a cat. Some things work well for dogs, they don't for cats. Bufferin long-term for dogs isn't a good idea, because it can give them ulcers.
Right.
You know, so
And this book does say whether or not you can use it.
absolutely.
So this little girl's hurt.
She's
Sheila's
hurt.
So we're going to give her maybe a Tylenol.
Not a Tylenol, probably, but
Okay.
a Bufferin would probably work. Tylenol is not particularly safe for dogs or
Oh,
cats.
okay.
But a
Ask me that.
Bufferin,
I didn't read that.
an ice pack, maybe something to sedate her a little bit, and just let her rest and get her to the veterinarian then as soon as you can to take care of that. For a bite wound like this, you're probably going to look at some antibiotics as well, and that, of course, you need to get from your veterinarian.
Now, Sheila is up for adoption as well. She is how old? Do we know?
She's 4 years old.
4.
And it's an iffy if
She's
she's
very
up
sweet.
for adoption, because it's sort of one of those
Don't grab that other leg.
yeah.
We gotta show the folks at home what she
She
looked
might
like.
be to a really special loving home. She would be adopted.
And she was in our newsroom before the show started. She is extremely sweet.
She is, and she's housebroken. I mean, she just happens to have 4 legs and sort of a tail. Kind of funny looking ears.
She
but this
even
is
has a sleepy ear. This
awesome.
ear is
Yeah.
going down. Yeah.
It's a little early, guys. It's
very
what, 6 o'clock? So she's still a little sleepy. We'll
Yes,
wake up in a
I
little bit.
know. Hello, sweetie.
Yeah.
Now, if you would like to adopt Sheila, like we said, she is up for adoption, you can contact Tommy at the Red River SPCA, 940-668-6309. You know the rules. Make sure she has time to get home.
Right.
Sheila's going back to sleep.
Right, and something, if folks are interested, this book is available in paperback at any of your major pet or pet bookstores. So that's something just to have on hand. It's one of those types of things that you hope you never need it,
Right.
but it's handy if you've got it.
And it's called Prevention Pets, the First Aid Companion for Dogs and Cats. Very simple title. Oh, there you go. All right, ladies, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. And make sure if you give any of the medications to your animal, make sure you check with your vet, just as a precaution, don't want to hurt your animal as well. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Tom Miller's forecast. Stay with us.
There you go.